Okay, often in life, we don't hear what is being said. We hear what we are expecting. Okay? So most of the time, people fight, you get into disagreement, and the person didn't say wealth, they just said go. Do you understand? Because when you hear a certain word, your mind is already programmed to feel in a certain way. Now, it's very challenging because we're going to be talking about money, and a lot of us have been taught to be very uncomfortable. Who thinks they are not uncomfortable talking about money? So I can prove them wrong. Who thinks, oh no, Zibu, I'm very comfortable talking about money. So I can ask them like, what's your salary net? Just scream it out. Right? Because we are so programmed to be very uncomfortable when we are talking about money. Okay? So I want you to know this and to be aware and conscious of it so that we are not exercising that today. I want you to totally forget that part. So the reason why this exercise is very important is you might think I said something that you heard me say before. Masterclass is different from any other class that we do. It's intensive, it's a full day. It won't feel like a full day. It will feel like an hour. You won't want to go. Okay, I would like somebody to please grab the lights at the back for us. And I want you guys to hear from one of my favorite coaches about what we're going to do today. And I could tell you what he says, but I thought it's better if I invite you for you to listen exactly to what he says. By playing you for him.
During a research experiment, a shark was placed into a large tank of water, and then some small fish were released into that tank. As you would expect, the shark quickly swam around the tank, watched the fish, and then ended up eating all of them. Then, a strong piece of fiberglass was inserted into the tank. This would create a division between where the shark started and where the smaller fish started. Again, the shark quickly attacked, but this time the shark went in straight into the fiberglass divider and bounced off. It tried this several times, again and again and again, until it became tired and weakened. Meanwhile, the fish on the other side of the divider carried on swimming peacefully. After about an hour, the shark finally gave up. This experiment was repeated several dozen times over the next few weeks, where the shark became less aggressive every single time. It got to the point that the shark stopped trying to attack and eat the fish at all. The fiberglass was then removed out of the tank, and to their amazement, the shark still did not attack. The shark had been trained through habit that a fiberglass divider was there and that it would bounce off, and therefore didn't even consider it. At the same time, the small fish freely swam wherever they wanted. The moral of the story: many of us are experiencing setbacks and failures in everyday life. Eventually, we get emotionally drained, tired, unmotivated, and we stop trying. Like the shark in the story, we believe that because we've been unsuccessful in the past, that barrier still exists even for new ventures. In other words, we continue to see a barrier in our heads that separates us from our dreams, even though there is no real barrier between where we are and where we want to go. And remember this: the teacher has failed more times than the student has even tried.
A round of applause for Jay Shetty. Right? How many times have you tried to make your first million? Who has tried? I want to see the guys that have tried, that have really said, listen, Zibu, I've put in effort to make my first million. Okay, perfect. Only one person has tried. The rest of you guys haven't tried to make money. Oh, it wasn't a million that you were trying to make. Oh, I see. Yeah, so sometimes you try to make money and then you don't make it, and then you try another route and then you don't make it, and then you try another route, and then you end up thinking, maybe money is for Abo Patrice, Maybe. Don't lie, it's a thought that comes. This is no, maybe money for other people. It doesn't help that when we are growing up, we are taught the wrong format, hey? When we are growing up, I don't know in your family, my mother was a teacher. So my mother believed that in order for you to get rich, you go to school and you pass with an A, if possible, and distinction. Then you go to university and you pass with distinction again. And then when you finish university, you get a job. And then preferably it must be a high-paying job. Which job did your parents want you to do? Lawyer, doctor, remember? Yes. I remember this one time my mom sat us down and asked us, what do you want to be when you grow up? And it was during the apartheid times. Remember when hippos used to go on the streets? And one of my cousins said, I want to be a soldier. Yo, she was so angry. I still remember it. And you know, when you're a child, you look at your role models. So around about that time, the big guys were the soldiers. Oh, everybody understands this. Remember lockdown level 5? Didn't you want to have a soldier brother? Right? So it depends on the country where you live. I wanted a soldier boyfriend so I can just travel. You know, I can just walk all over the town. So, but that is what we were taught. And a lot of people went to university like me. I went to university, I got a job, I got paid. Did I get rich? Yes, says no. And then I came back to refresh my notes. Why am I not rich? And then they say, no, once you get a job now, you must work harder and get a promotion. So when you get a promotion, you're going to earn more, and then you're going to be rich. I'm like, why didn't they say? So then I apply myself. I work until late at night. I'm there first in the morning. I'm out at night. And I realize this promotion doesn't come with how hard you work. Also, you must also be nicer to the management. So me, I'm not a rebel. I became nicer to the management. I mean, back about Julius. Yeah, I'm not going to kiss the... I was like, boss, you're back? Boss, tea? You know? So I got my promotion. After I got my promotion, okay, when I started, my net was just below 10. So I thought when I make 10,000 rand, I'm going to be rich. I made 10,000 rand. Did I get rich? No. Then I was like, okay, so if I got 20,000, I even sat down and planned rent 2,500. I was living Koroshaville, guys. That side, so rent was good. Rent 2,500, car 3,000, you know? And then I could see, like, if I got 20,000, I would really have about 5,000 extra every month. So I worked hard, I got promotion, I got 20,000. Did I get rich? Right. So, like, it was a big scam. Okay? So the life that I wanted, so the dreams that I wanted, like, because Mina, I was not dreaming my parents' 4-room. I was dreaming like a proper house, koto billing, with the stairs. You know the stairs when the white woman is coming down like this, and the stairs are sort of like round? Yes. That was my house. And then ever since I could remember, the dream was you enter the gate of my house, and then you drive for a couple of minutes before you see my house. And then my house appears. And then you sort of like drive in the circle, you know, like a hotel, and then you come out at my house. Am I there yet? No, because I followed the wrong formula. So first of all, it doesn't help the fact that we were following the wrong formula. Our parents' formula was not totally wrong. In that time, it was possible to make money using that formula. Right now and into the future, it's impossible. Are you guys aware? So if you are telling your children to pass school, go to varsity, and then job, and they're going to be rich, you are messing your children up. I don't know about your teenagers. My son has a picture of a Bentley in his bedroom. I didn't even know Bentleys existed. So do you think that boy can reach his dreams by getting just a job? Okay, so do you want to know the formula? It's not part of the masterclass, but I can share it. The formula is you need to figure out where you can help. There is a problem that a person is having that you have the capacity to solve. Whether it's a hospital that does not have catering and all the sick patients are having to order from a tuck shop, or it's Abo CC that are overweight and we all want to be size 32, but don't judge people. Just look at a problem and see, these guys have this problem. Whether the problem is Nyayope, whatever the problem is, there is a problem in this world that you can solve. You need to learn how to solve it. So I'll give you an example of the different business models that use this. Uber decided people want to grab a taxi, But taxis have got different prices. And it's very difficult to hail a taxi in New York. I mean, it's terrible. If you're black and you're female, taxis pass you. There's a high demand for taxis. So Uber solved the problem, but they solved the problem for everybody. Now you go into an app, you call the taxi, you know it's coming for you, you know exactly. So you see they solved the problem? Mark Zuckerberg decided that in his university, there's a lot of people that don't know each other, but they might be in the same faculty. So how you solve that problem? Facebook, right? So there are problems that Africa is facing that you can solve. Now, this is the trick. The more people for whom you can solve the problem, the richer you become. That's it. So first learn how to solve a problem, and if you solve it for few people, identify how many other people have this problem, and then try and help as many people as possible solve their problems. And do you know what's fantastic about that? People are always willing to pay to solve their problems. And the problem that sometimes we do in business is we find a product and we try to convince people that they want it. Or you can figure out what people want and then bring it to them. And like sometimes I meet people and they're like, oh my God, thank God you exist. Yo, sisi nceda tu. Ngibuya ngihambile, I did debt review, I did this. Oh my goodness, you exist and you do that? Oh wow, thank you. Right? So you need to find the problem. So first of all, that's the model. But I want to find those people who think that in order to have more money, you must have more money. Who has that belief? Okay? So because that's how we are taught. We are taught that, you know, when you make more money, you're going to have more money. But do you know what's surprising? In this room, nobody earns the same amount of money. In fact, there are people in this room who earn triple what another person in this room earns. So even though you earn more than triple what other people in this room earn, you still have the same problem with money. So making more money doesn't equal having more money. And the best example I have for that is, it's not how much you make, it's what you do with what you make, okay? And you would notice that normally we do this training in a workplace, and in your workplace, think about it. On the day before payday, on the 24th, the senior manager that gets a net of 56,000 and the security guard that gets a net of 4,500 are equally as broke. Are you aware? They are equally, if the manager is not more broke because he's got overdraft and he's at minus, at least the security guy is at zero. Yes! Sometimes the security is even better because he doesn't have the overdraft. So it's not how much money you are making. It's what you are doing with the money that you make. And that's what we're going to be discussing today, is exactly what do you need to do with your money in order to make your money grow. And there's a lot of things that we need to look at in terms of what we believe. Right? So as Zolutha, we've got an acronym for people who work and are poor. We call it people who overlook opportunity repeatedly. Who's been doing that? Okay? An opportunity comes, you overlook it. Another opportunity comes, you overlook it. So every 30 days you receive a payslip, and a payslip is a new opportunity. But the banks have convinced you that this is not a new month, it's not a new opportunity. They convince you to do exactly the same thing you did last month, right? Isn't that what we do with our salaries? Yes, we even have a budget that looks identical from the previous month. So a person will say, I've got 15 years working experience earning a salary, but actually what they have is 1 month of experience and then 15 years of doing the same thing with their salary every month. So every single month an opportunity comes, and every single month they overlook it. Okay? So what you do with your salary is where the key is. Okay, what if it's not just the salary, but it's what happens once the salary hits your hands? Okay? So in order to do that, we always say at Zoluhle, the best teacher is reality. So I need Jeanette and somebody for my checks, to prepare the checks. I want us to go through an exercise, and everybody's got on their book. I want you to go to page 11 in your book. And we are going together to answer those questions. So first, I want to know how many years have you been formally employed? By that I mean getting a pay slip, okay? For those that are in business, I mean the time when you actually started being able to get money from your business, okay? I want you to just count those years, count the number of years, and then write them down. How many years have you been employed? Just count the numbers, and then you realize how old you are now. I know. Okay, everybody's got the year? Perfect. Now, I want you to multiply the years by 12 so that we can find out how many months did you get paid? How many months? So if you've been working 10 years, you multiply that by 12, you get 120 months where you were earning a salary. Okay? Perfect. Now I want to see, you're working more than 100 months, you're like, yes, sis. It's been a lot. And that is the number of times that you have received a salary or payment. Perfect. Great. Now, I want to see who still hasn't figured out their months so we can help them. Okay, everybody's got their months? Perfect. Now, I want you to think during those years, okay? Come back to me, because I know some people love calculations, so they're like, in it. Now, within those, let's say it's 10 years. When you started working, like I said, you probably started at 8,000, and then somewhere in the middle you went up to 18,000, and maybe now you're at 35,000. If you want to calculate your average, you are going to say 8,000 plus 15,000 plus 35,000, and then you're going to divide it by 3. If you've been working for a shorter period, you probably have 8,000 and 18,000. It means you're going to add your first salary, your middle salary, and then you're going to divide by 2. No, if you're only adding 2, you divide by 2. So your lowest and your highest, and you divide by 2. Or if you want a better accuracy, your first salary, middle, last. And the money that you're looking at is the net. So how much were you getting in your pocket when you started, in your account? So we're not talking about the gross. This is the money after taxes, after everything. What was your net when you started? What was your net halfway, more or less? What is your net now? Then I want you to write those 3 numbers. Your net when you started, your net halfway, and your net now. You see why you needed to write your name on the book so nobody grabs it? Mm-hmm. Just write the amounts, yeah, so that you can add them right. Okay, so just write your starting salary, your middle salary, your salary now, or your income now. Then what I'm going to ask you to do is I want you to add all those 3, and then I want you to divide them by 3. So you add the starting salary, the middle salary, your salary now, and then you divide the total of those by 3 in order to get your average. Okay? If anyone sort of like wants me next to them, I've got very deliciously smelling perfume, I can come and help you calculate. Okay? Your starting salary, income, your midway income, and your income now that's coming in every 30 days. Add those up, you get a big number, then you divide by 3. Okay? That's cool. Perfect. Everybody's got it? Who's still working on their number so I can help them with the average? Everybody got it? Okay, perfect. Now, this is what I want you to do. I want you to take your total number of months that you are working, so that's 102 if it's 10 years, and I want you to multiply it with your average income that you just calculated. Okay? So your total number of months multiplied by your average income over those years. And then I want you to write that nice number at the bottom of page 11. I want you to write that beautiful number at the bottom of page 11. And I want to see the millionaires. Wow. You multiply your 108 by 11,000. There. And you get 1.24. Write that down. Perfect. Everybody's got their numbers? Okay. Who in this room has not received $1 million in their account? Who must still pray to God? Who must still go fasting? Okay. What you've just calculated proves to you why most people travel through the Zambezi River, down the Kalahari, risking their lives, risking soldiers, risking crocodiles to come into this country. It is the only country where I can do this exercise and absolutely be sure if anybody has been working for more than 5 years, they're already a millionaire. We are a country of millionaires. And if we just understood exactly what we have, we would have a better life, ne? Yeah. Right. Now I want to see the millionaires. Tell where are my marking pens? Okay, let's see the numbers. How do I do it so that I can find those hiding? Okay, okay, everybody stand up. That's going to help me. And then you must both stay to help the people rise. Okay, now I would like everyone that has not made $1 million to take a seat. Okay? And then I would like all of those that have made 1 million only to take a seat. Okay, wow, everyone. Okay, everyone that has made 2 million, take a seat. So everyone that's 2 million and below, you can take a seat. Hey, the millionaires. So many are still standing. Okay, anyone 2.5 million and below, take a seat. Okay, everyone less than 3 million, take a seat. Yes, sis. Anyone 4 million and below, take a seat. Oh, come on. I must now see these numbers. Yes, sis. Yeah. Guys, let me see. Oh, no, you know what? It's that number. It's that number and that number is correct. You are my personal friend.
Something is wrong with my calculations.
Let me see the number of months. Yes. Sure. Okay, let's see. Dude, that's not an embarrassing number. You can take a seat. I just want to see that last number there. In Durban, we had a lady who was at 5 point. Sure. Telling you so young, take a seat. Great. So we've got, you can take a seat, Sissy. We've got 13 million. And what's your millions? They've been 13.7 and 18 million. I would like the two ladies to please come to the front. Star, please pull the check this way so they can access it. Please come to the front. Sissy, you can go to that one. I want you to complete this check and write your number. Write your name and write yourself your 18 million rand check. Right. Perfect. And then, Sissy, you can use that check, and here's your marker. Just write your name and write down your millions. We are Eve. Take a bow, ladies, and write that number out. I want you to write yourself that check. Wow. Right? Okay. So, have we conclusively answered the question on how to make your first million as a South African? Get a job. Right? Basically, just get a job. Now, as the ladies are writing their numbers there, I want you to anyone that wants to share with me, what are your thoughts on how much money you have managed to accumulate? Thank you, Cecilia. You can take a seat. Perfect. There you go. The pen needs that. And then, because you guys are millionaires and I want to make friends, you can have a chocolate. My name is Zibu. I like you. This is what you do to millionaires. Yeah, girl, don't miss an opportunity. Yes, sir. I mean, I'm going to introduce myself, right? And then I want you guys to give me feedback. I've got sweets. I've got gifts for participation. I want your thoughts. How do you feel when you look at the amount of money that you've accumulated? What's the feeling? Disappointment? On this side? Where is the money? Where did it go? Perfect. What did I do with that money? Right. There you go. There's a sweetie for you. Let me see if I can throw you a sweetie. I'm bad at sports. All right, so that's the feeling is, where did that money go? All right? But can you deny that the money did come into your account? Yeah, well, I haven't counted your bonuses. I didn't say count your tax refunds. I just said, and I didn't say count your gross. And I didn't include your pension. I'm just talking the money that came into your account that then left. Okay? Because the lesson is, it's not how much money you make. It's how much of that you manage to keep. Okay? So every month, that is the target. How much of my money do I manage to keep? Because this is the secret. When you can keep some money, it can do something that is magical, which is grow. And it's growing on your side. By the way, it's not that your money, all the millions, did not grow. The only problem is that they were not growing in your hands. Okay? So you know how in South Africa we always say there's WMC, like white monopoly capital? I want you to consider your salary. If your salary is 35,000, I want you to consider each 1,000 as a seed, right? So if you can keep that 1,000 to yourself and grow it by yourself, it will become a tree and it will give you more thousands. But if you take that 1,000 and you give it to West Bank, the owner of West Bank receives it as an income, as a seed, plants it, and then you see his house in Stellenbosch. Those are the fruits of your seed. Okay? The suburbs that you see, the cars, the Ferraris, those are all the fruits of the seeds of the people that receive your seed. If you give money just enough time to stay in your hands and grow, money will show you magic. Now, I understand why most of us don't keep enough money within us. And it's got a lot to do with belief. Are you guys aware? So we call belief like the network. You know, like you're on Vodacom, and then the other one is on the Cell C network, and then the other one is on MTN. Okay? Beliefs are like network. So even if in this class I come and I change your SIM card, it's not going to work because you are hooked onto a network that's different. Do you understand? Right? So a lot of times when we see people with money, it's like when you see people on Facebook, right? You don't really see what makes the money happen. You just see the fruits. But in order for a person to have that money, in order for the fruits of that money to show, that person must be thinking specific thoughts, must be taking specific actions, and must be believing specific things. Okay? And if you can change the way in which you think about money, it will change the way in which you act around money, which is going to change your reality with money. Because the reason why you do the same thing at the end of the month is because of what you believe. So today we are going to talk about belief. okay? A lot when it comes into your money and the mindset around money. Okay, so everyone has been answered. You've got your millions ready. Hey? You're good. Ngiyayifuna million lam. Like mangiqeda nje. So I want to show you guys the reality of getting money. There is I do corporate financial wellness. And there's a client of mine that once paid its employees, each employee, close to more than $500,000 in bonuses. It was a BE share scheme. Do you believe that that workplace has got rich employees today? Because what happens to money that comes before knowledge? Yes. So a lot of people focus on how to make more money. But any money that you get before knowledge is going to go. Okay? So, but if you focus on getting knowledge, any money that you make after you know gets to grow. Okay? So I don't want you to feel disappointed about the millions that you've made. I want you to feel encouraged. Because if you could make that million unconsciously, imagine what you can do when you're conscious.